Going snorkeling on this week's Exploring Arkansas. Yeah, buddy. You know, for those of us who don't have the luxury of going to the Caribbean and snorkeling by a coral reef, well, the next best thing is taking one of the snorkeling outings in the summertime here at DeGray Lake Resort State Park near Arkadelphia. You get a mask and a snorkel, and after you put the snorkel in your mouth, of course, it's yours to keep. Minimum snorkeling age is 8, and reservations can be made at the marina, where a park interpreter will first prep you and fill you in as far as what to expect.
From 2 feet of water to 180 feet of water. We're going out to an island, and we'll park on one side of the island, and we'll make our way slowly around the island. One side of the island is quite shallow and sandy, and the other side of the island is where the old river channel used to run, and it's extremely deep. And there's a rock wall, a bluff that goes down the whole way. So we'll do the shallow water snorkeling first so that we're all feeling comfortable, and then we'll move on around the island to the deep side, and we'll snorkel along that rock wall and see what we can see.
After about a 20-minute or so boat ride, you'll finally approach your snorkeling adventure aisle. Following a few last-minute adjustments and fittings, time to dive into the fun.
And he's good at his stories. I mean, I don't believe that.
Dive, dive.
Now, of course, there aren't any coral reefs at DeGray Lake, but you do have these rock ledges that if the water is not too murky, you can actually go down a few feet, and it's kind of pretty interesting underneath the water, the formation.
But your snorkeling aisle adventure is also a whole lot more than just the snorkeling. Your park interpreter guide will also enlighten you on DeGray Lake itself and the Ouachita Mountains where it's situated, and any questions are welcome.
This is sandstone, right? Just because it has the ring around.
Oh yeah, that's sandstone. That's actually where the lake gets its name. These are the Ouachita Mountains, which are mostly made of sandstone and chert. And the word DeGray in French, I'm sure we all have our translation dictionaries in our pocket there. De means from or of, gray means sandstone. Forcing yourself forward, you gotta wait to kick with your legs until your body's oriented like this.
And how did the Ouachita Mountains come here?
When the South American continent smashed into the North American continent along what's now the Gulf Coast, over 65 million years ago, it caused tectonic activity, kind of like when you have a tablecloth and you squeeze both sides, you get a bunch of ripples and folds. Those ripples and folds are now the Ouachita Mountains. They originally ran so far east that they connected with the Appalachian Mountains, and the original Ouachita Mountain peaks stood higher than the highest mountains do today in the Rocky Mountains. But they're so old that time wore them down to the more modest mountains that we see today.
What'd you think of the snorkeling today?
I thought it was excellent. I tell you what, we're so impressed with Arkansas's park systems. You know, we're from Texas, and we have parks that but y'all's are just pristine, and we're just so impressed with this park because of it's like it looked 30 years ago.
Yes.
The trees and the water, it's just like it looked 30 years ago.
They've done a wonderful job of conservation, just excellent. And like Fred said, we came 30 years ago, then 20 years ago, and then now. And the golf course is just in excellent condition. We played golf this morning. So it's just a wonderful place to come visit. We can't wait to come back.
And you say it looks the same, and it's a lot of it has to do with, you know, folks like you and others that, you know, whether they're in state or out of state, that come here, they appreciate what is here, and they take care of it. They make sure that there's no trash left, or no, you know, it's the conservation of the whole area.
And it really shows. It shows that people have some pride in this park. Now, we haven't been to the other parks, but this is the one that we've come to.
And we understand that there's 51 others, so we hope to
one of these days.
More.
In the sport of kayaking, there's of course whitewater kayaking and recreational kayaking. And now what's becoming more and more popular is kayak angling. And it makes perfect sense, because with a kayak, you can now get to all those hard to get to honey holes. No problem. Our kayak fishing outing took us to the popular Kings River between Eureka Springs and Berryville. Professional kayak angler Drew Gregory joined up with us on this day and talked about the evolution of kayak fishing.
You know, some would say it just evolved in the last 10 years, but I think the Inuits and the Eskimos and the tribal people in the Amazon would argue with that a little bit. But basically, it's become more popular in, you know, our urban cultures and society, you know, in America where we live, in probably the last 10 years. And it started out mostly in the saltwater and kind of has progressed into more freshwater now, because again, it's just the best tool to access the beautiful waters like we have here in Arkansas. Yeah.
For bait, Drew likes to use a simple medium-sized rubber minnow, which is durable enough to last all day and then some.
So check this out. You can just stretch it, doesn't break. All day long you can fish with one. It looks like an injured minnow, see? When I switch it, looks like it's just a hurt, dying minnow.
Drew's expertise has been instrumental in the design of the latest angler-friendly kayaks.
Well, you know, I grew up fishing. My mom and dad both fished, grandparents fished, and I just caught the bug, you know. And then, you know, started fishing rivers a lot. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, so rivers were kind of my thing. So I fell in love with them, and later on down the road, just realized I had the best tool as a kayak. Started doing it, realizing that, you know, God had given me some cool talents to do it, and I didn't want to waste those talents in life. So I teamed up with Jackson Kayak eventually, after starting a website and, you know, kind of making a name for myself a little bit in the kayak fishing industry, and got a Signature Series watercraft. And as you can see, pretty stable boats. You can stand and fish out of them real nice and easy. So it's enjoyable, a good way to explore the outdoors.
I've been hearing a lot of, you know, as more and more people are finding about the design of this. I mean, they're just saying, this is what we've been waiting for years.
Well, you know, we should ask this guy. He's paddling by in one right now. How do you like that Jackson Coosa? Thumbs up. He's giving a thumbs up. Nice, very nice. I mean, do we need to say anything else? I mean, I don't know. As we're doing this interview, we got somebody paddling by in one, but yeah, I mean, I think that what the difference is, just like when the Ford Model T came out, there was one type of vehicle. Well, look at today, we've got trucks, we've got, you know, four-wheel drive vehicles, we've got sports cars. Well, as the evolution of the kayak fishing develops, you're gonna have more specialized kayaks for different areas. So you're gonna have some that are specialized more for saltwater, and this one here obviously is very specialized for rivers and smaller bodies of water. So that's just the way it's gonna go, and it's great because the big winners in the end are you, the consumer.
All right, let's catch some.
Let's do it.
And it didn't take long for Drew to catch a not too shabby sized smallmouth.
No monster by any means, but we will take it, and it's a beautiful fish. Get this hook out of her and let's let her go as fast as possible because we want to protect these awesome resources in Arkansas here. Got a little blood on the shot. Nice little smallmouth. Here we go. Let's let her go back.
To further demonstrate the stability of this latest design in fishing kayaks, Drew continued standing up while going over rapids. Don't think I'm quite there yet. Maybe after a few more outings. Here in Heber Springs, there's the Sugarloaf Mountain on Greer's Ferry Lake, and then there's the other Sugarloaf Mountain along the Little Red River, also quite popular. In fact, it's been quite popular since early Native American days. So, how about we take a hike up to the top? Sugarloaf Mountain, number 2 along the Little Red River, is actually the property of Arkansas State University in Heber Springs.
A few years ago, ASU started offering classes in Heber Springs, and they wanted to find a permanent home. Wanted to find a place for a campus that would be suitable for a university. And our president then, Dr. White, along with Dr. McKay and Diane Tyner, the three of them scouted out locations around Heber Springs, and they settled on the Sugarloaf property, and they saw the mountain, they saw its beauty, and instantly they fell in love with it. And things worked out really well for them to be able to purchase it for the university. It was an interesting time, and we have about 150 acres, I believe, here, including the mountain that we have to work with. But the commitment is there from ASU to keep this natural and keep it beautiful, just the way it has been for many, many years. In fact, as you can tell, it's improving, and we have a lot of good folks to thank for that improvement here. With the Sugarloaf Heritage Council, with Joe Rath and Frank Barton and Mark Johnson, that whole group of people coming together in this community to make this better is incredible. It blows my mind to see people volunteer, take it upon themselves to raise money and to work on their weekends and their days off to make the mountain beautiful. And it impresses me, you know, for the nature of it, but also it gives our students a great place to come and study. It gives them a great place to come and learn. And in between classes, if they want to hike the mountain, they can. Our student this year that spoke at graduation is from Wisconsin. He came down with his family on a vacation, decided it was so beautiful here that he'd stay and go to college. And I can't help but think that this is part of the reason, you know, for what is here on Sugarloaf Mountain.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting here. Do a little crevassing here on Sugarloaf Mountain.
Joe Rath and several other neighbors and I have always brought our kids up here. I was bringing my son Jack up when he was an infant, bringing him up in a backpack. And it's a place that we come to a lot just on a weekend to get away and see the views and so forth. And these rock surfaces were covered with graffiti, and it was, some of it was obscene words, but it was all obscene to us just that somebody would deface a place like this. And it was terribly annoying, and Joe and I talked a lot about it, but it just seemed like it was impossible to do anything about it. It was such a big job. And finally, one day, probably in about 2006, Jack and I were up here, and there was some new, really obscene language that had been painted on the mountain, and he asked me what that meant. And I called Joe and said, we got to do something about this, even if it's just you and me coming up here with a wire brush. We got to do something about it. And he called Dr. Tyner, who was the head of the university, the vice chancellor at the university at the time, and engaged some other civic leaders, and people just started coming out of the woodwork. And we formed the Sugarloaf Heritage Council for the purpose of, one, removing the graffiti and restoring the mountain to its natural state, and also the trail that's been here since probably prehistoric times. The traditional trail was badly eroded, and so our next project, which is underway now, was to make the trail passable and do something about the erosion and make it where it's easier for people to get up here and less destructive to the mountain.
Tell us about through oral history, what has been told about the inhabitants here.
Well, of course, like most Native Americans, they didn't have a written language or history, but I've read in some pioneer journals and so forth talking about encountering Native Americans when the explorers and early settlers first came into this area. It's obvious that the Red River Valley, the Little Red River Valley, was heavily populated. You find artifacts all over the place. We regularly find novaculite chips up here, and this rock, as far as I know, doesn't occur naturally here. It was probably trade goods and brought in from down around Hot Springs, but the people around here used it to make tools. And you find this all up and down the river valley in the alluvial soil. Anytime it rains or somebody plows up a garden, you find chips or arrowheads or arrowhead parts or tool parts and so forth. So it's obvious it was maybe more heavily populated then than it is now.
Sugarloaf's elevation is 690 feet above the Little Red River Valley and is basically an erosional remnant. The earliest settlers called it Sugarloaf because of its resemblance in shape to loaves of unrefined sugar that were in use at the time. Climbing Sugarloaf has been a popular pastime for generations of Heber Springs residents and others in surrounding areas.
First time I climbed Sugarloaf, I was kind of scared of the part where, like, you have to there's only 1 foot hole and you got to get up.
Yeah, through that crevice.
Yeah, I was really scared.
And my first time up here was like when I was like 5 months old. My dad had this little Patagonia backpack, and he just stuck me in it, and he'd fly fish with me in it and stuff, but he just stuck me in it. And once I was old enough to walk, maybe 3 or so, he would just, I was always a little bit freaked out about that crevice part, but some days I would do it and some days I wouldn't. So my dad would just I'd get my foot across there and he'd just push me up so I don't have to get my hands on the other side of it, because my arms weren't long enough to do that. So I had a little bit of trouble with that when I was little, but on the other hand, I kind of liked coming up here when I was little. I would always ask my dad after he got back from work, when he worked in Little Rock, for take a hike. I was like, Dad, can we go climb Sugarloaf before we go home? When I was like 4, and I could barely talk, but he could understand that I wanted to come up here, so we did it a lot in the free time.
Of course, it's ASU's property, but it's not quite in their charter to maintain a trail on a mountain. They're an educational group, so the community's really jumped in to help, and We put a lot of labor in to get the mountain to where it is now, and we have a lot of plans. We've developed another trail out here, and we have plans for more trails. This is just a special place, and it's known all through the state. And even we had people from Illinois here this morning, so it's well known, well used, and something that the region is really proud of, and we need to keep it up and keep it in good shape.
This is Grand Cypress Natural Area, which is a part of Bayou Meto Wildlife Management Area. And this is a cypress tupelo swamp. It's really an oxbow lake, which oxbow lakes are formed when rivers silt in. And it's basically a big curved lake. And it's full of cypress and tupelo trees, which are uniquely adapted, and they've evolved to live in this environment. Wetland and swampy environments aren't real hospitable for lots of trees and other creatures, but these trees, when you look at them, are buttressed at the bottom. They're wider at the bottom. Cypress trees have knees, which help support them in this watery world that they live in. And part of that also may be for gas exchange, basically to help the trees breathe that live out here.
Watchable Wildlife Coordinator Kirsten Bartlow with the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission joined us on our picturesque outing to the Grand Cypress Natural Area near Stuttgart.
And this middle section must be deeper, is what I'm assuming why there's no cypress and tupelo tree growing in the middle. But it's very primeval feeling. It feels like we're kind of stepping back in time. I'm looking for dinosaurs.
It really is something else. I mean, and I don't know how many people venture back in here, but I guess by canoe or kayak is the way to do it, obviously.
It is. This doesn't always hold this much water, so seasonally you need to check it out, and when there's enough water to get back in here, and you might want to think about mosquitoes and things like that. This watery environment is definitely home to them, but you know, these are really special places. You can see some neat wildlife in here. A lot of the birds we're hearing right now are up in the treetops. That's where there's habitat for them. If you look around, you know, below us, there's no understory because the trees are taking up all the sunlight. But any kind of reptile is going to love this area. So if you're into herps, snakes, and turtles and frogs, definitely a neat place to be. Aquatic mammals like beaver and nutria and otter and mink you could see in this area.
I guess that's why it's a designated natural area. It's places like this are anymore in this day and age far and few between.
Yeah, you don't see old stands of cypress trees. They were used to build antebellum homes. The heartwood of a cypress tree was known for being very, very strong. And they built houses with them, they built boxes with them. And a really neat piece of trivia, Henry Ford would buy Spanish moss from down in Florida that grew up in the cypress trees. And he'd buy that moss, but they would box it in cypress wood. Well, what he really wanted was the cypress wood. He used that on the side panels of the cars and for the dashboard. And so he basically got the boxes free and used those in building his cars. You know, these wetlands are filters for pollutants. They help keep our environment healthy and really need to be protected. You know, we're down to half. You know, in some parts of the southeast, there's a real economic factor to wetland areas like this. There can be selected, you know, timber harvest. People catch crawfish, down closer to the coast, shrimp. Ecotourism, you know, we're in here, this is a great place to come in and see wildlife and bird and paddle. So wetlands have a lot of importance to us, ecologically, economically.
To get to the Grand Cypress Natural Area in the Bayou Wildlife Management Area, from Highway 152, take Valure Road south past the Hollowell Waterfowl Rest Area, in which the road then becomes Cox Cypress Road. Then turn right onto Cypress Lake Road and go to the very last camping site, which is the put-in area before the road veers off to the right. It's really special to see an area like this that's, I guess, as early explorers saw it.
Right, I can't imagine. They didn't have deep woods off and my special thermocell back here. I'm not sure if I would have kept exploring if I were one of them. I might have gone back to the motherland.
So grab yourself a canoe or kayak and head out into the Grand Cypress Natural Area here at Bayou Wildlife Management Area near Stuttgart. And for more on this destination, or to order a copy of an episode, visit our website, aetn.org/Exploring Arkansas. And we'll see you again the next time for another exciting adventure on Exploring Arkansas. Which way did I come in here? Dive, dive.